All right, good morning. It's 9 o'clock. I'd like to call the Tri Lakes Management District meeting to order for Wednesday, September 18th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Number 2, please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3, roll call, starting from my left.
Adkins here.
Gabriel here.
Hasdell here.
Samuel stood here.
And Scott will be here in a couple minutes. He had a therapy session. Number 4, certified posting of the meeting agenda, please.
Agenda was posted on September 16th to the Daily Tribune, 3:30 p.m., Town Hall, 352, Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, 348, and Quick Trip, 3:58 p.m.
Thank you. Number 5, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Number 6, electric comments. Any cards turned in?
No.
We'll dispense with number 6. Number 7, information updates, meeting recaps, current events, and announcements. Brad, do you have anything?
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Sure.
I was gonna go under town update.
All right, very good.
Sorry.
That's all right.
And just to let everybody know, Carl and I are gonna have a telephone conference with Chris Stefan from Malaire sometime between 10:30 and 11 today. Bring Chris up to date on where we're at, and he'll advise us on where they're at with the bubblers and when they're gonna arrive.
Okay.
That's all I got.
And I just have information, we sent newsletters going out for fall, winter. I sent one to LCPOA, should be getting one, I guess, from Sherwood pretty soon, and I think there was one also for, due for Arrowhead, so. All right, number 8, 14-mile Watershed Alliance. Dave, anything new? I know you got something.
Always something. Yeah, a couple things I'd like to share. I put in for a surface water grant to do a prairie restoration on town property, Walden Park out on 9th Avenue. And, so that's finally coming to fruition. So I'm looking for help with that, and next week on Monday, we're putting in a raised grid pathway that'll then be a living path that has a grass surface in a kind of a hexagrid type material. And then, we've got vegetative mat scheduled to be delivered on Wednesday, and so the Thursday, Friday, and probably into Saturday, we'll be laying down this vegetative mat that is, prairie grasses, sedges, and flowers, that's already started. They grow it to like a foot high, then they cut it to about 3 inches high and roll it into big rolls, just like lawn turf, except that it's native prairie material, and they weigh about 180 pounds each, so could use some help with that if anybody's interested. Also for that project, that was a DNR grant, 75% to the 25% match. I'm fundraising the locations to cover that other 25% of the match, so that we can do that work on the town property but not involve any town funds. So I just wanted to mention that the hometown Rome players performances on Arrowhead this weekend will be fundraising toward the Walden project, prairie restoration. We had a field trip just yesterday, and Nakusa High School students from the botany, wildlife, and environmental science classes come. We held that at Sherwood Lodge. We had 4 stations that we rotated through, and talked to them about various aspects of water quality and groundwater, so that was a good event. And if we set aside the date on our December meeting, which will be December 9th, we're going to have Michael Gock, who's a local historian with the Adams County Historical Society, come and talk about the development of the Leola area and the 14-mile watershed from indigenous settlements all the way up to the present day, so I hope I'm expecting that to be a really informative session.
How about the update from Heather with the 14-mile watershed work with the farmers?
I'm sorry.
Heather's work with the farmers, she's got the new activities going?
We know that the producer-led water, we know the paperwork got filed on the date, on the deadline date. That's the update I got from Heather, so.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Harvester update?
Yep.
Anything fast?
I do. We've got 3 boats out already, removed off the lakes. Number 5 cutter, the big one, off of Lower Sherwood down, Lower Sherwood's down by the islands and the dam. Upper Camelot cutter is off. Tomorrow we're gonna be pulling Lake Arrowhead's cutter out. And then next week, the remaining 3 will be pulled out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Craig is anticipating closing up shop by the 27th of this month. Today, around 10 o'clock, Inland is sending one of their big trucks to come and pick up the number 5 cutter. That's our newest cutter that was damaged this spring. So we'll be loading that up onto, I'm assuming, a big semi flatbed, and they'll be hauling that away to rebuild the front end that was damaged. So more to come on that as that progresses. I don't know if Craig updated you the last meeting, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Gina, the insurance is covering.
Yes, and they also said if more work needed to be done, they would pay more.
Yep. So we should be looking good there.
And we've already received the check, right?
Yep, I think it was about 13,500.
So we got.
Great, thanks, Brad. Number 10, district update?
Okay, out of the 314 properties that were required, I have 150 that have sent in their card. I've spoke with local septic companies. They are holding on to quite a number of them that haven't paid their bill yet, of course. And then only 2 failed properties, and we've had 15 replaced properties this year. Or septic systems, sorry.
Thank you.
That's it.
Just in time. Number 11, county, WADNR and 9 key element update. Anything from the county?
Yeah, it's getting close to that time where you start figuring out the next budget here for the county. So wanted to put it on everybody's radar that if we've got some projects or ideas that need some money, now would be the time to start petitioning to the county that we need to do this. So just out for the public and for the rest of the board as we work through the next 6-7 weeks here, just keep me in the loop on things that we need additional attention for, dam issues, things like that. We can start planning for and getting some money from the county back because we send an awful lot to them. That's about it.
Anybody think of anything offhand? Send in the thoughts. Any funds the county's actually suggesting it. It's a new one, but we'll jump on it if we come up with anything. Thank you. Number 12, town update.
Yeah, I would just tell the town residents to keep an eye on the board's agendas. There's an item coming up this Thursday about the transfer site. Some people might wanna hear the other side of the story on it. So, that's tomorrow night at 5.
Okay, and it does have an effect on us because we bring in a lot of material over
A
there,
lot of
so.
weeds
Yep.
over there.
All right, number 13, update on EOR permit with WIDNR, testing and placing of 20 remaining NEO units. We're gonna be talking to Jay. We do expect the other 10 the first 10 units to come in within the next couple of weeks, actually, and start getting those placed. And we don't have a date yet for the other 20, but we expect them to be in over the winter and to be placed in 2025. That's our goal. All right, discussion and possible action on the following items. Number 14, approved minutes from Wednesday, August 21st and September 4th.
Move to approve.
Discussion? I do have a couple items here. On the August 21st it says it should go down from 2411 to 11 on number 19. That was with our reduction of our mill rate. We need to clarify that it's $24.11 per 100,000 to about $11 per $100,000 of equalized value.
So it's to add the per $100,000.
Yeah. And then on July 17th, number 10, harvester update, it says there were 72,000 pounds this year, basically, and this year there was 289 pounds. Need to clarify that. Is that 289,000 pounds, or there's a discrepancy on the number there? And then number 15, 2024 Goose Roundup. Actually, that shouldn't be 4 years, it should be 5 years. So, anything else, anybody? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Number 15, approve vouchers and financials. Should have gotten the new system in your mail. We are now working off the Sage, and it gives us really a good breakdown of what we have, so I don't have to do the math anymore on that. We also send it on to our accountants, and Nicole got that. She can review it and let us know if we need to adjust anything or clean up or whatever we got to do. So far, it's been good, but hopefully that makes a little more sense to you on what's coming out. So, any questions on that? We will for next year. When I put the budget in there, I figured out how to get the budget into that system. Wasn't able to break it down to all the different parts, and there's not a lot of good explanations in there. So I'm gonna have to go through the whole file and change names on things, put good account numbers in there, and we'll probably break it down big time next year. So we break down the numbers into each category. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, but we can use the percentages that we have in there from the prior years. So we'll break it down in that respect, more or less. So, anyway, I think it's a step forward. It's much more clear. You know, get a motion to approve the vouchers and financials?
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers and financials.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Should we put that on our website? This should be on our website, shouldn't it? These, our financials.
Whatever you request.
Well, it's a board thing, but I'm
I would think so.
I wouldn't object to it.
yeah, I think we'll create a section on there and get it on the website. Clarity. Okay, discussion and possible action, project manager job description. You've got the information there?
Yeah, last month we talked about the job description for the project manager, which Bob took, and I think we adopted it last month, I think,
I believe we did.
or approved it. So it's just a matter of Bob signing the agreement.
Send me a copy and I'll sign it.
I don't think we need to, we've already approved that, so,
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it right there.
all right. Number
You sign it, we'll get you a copy.
Number 17, discussion and possible action. We have 2 applicants, maybe 3, for nanobubble installation and maintenance job description.
Three. There's 3
Yeah, I
people.
guess we have 3 now, yes. So, we did send a job description out also to everybody,
Yep.
right? So, yeah, any questions or issues on that? We're trying to make it as transparent as possible with these folks. The training will come through Moyer, the first installation coming in this fall. Moyer will basically be responsible for the installations, but our guy or guys, I think, if we're looking at 3, that's not unrealistic, I guess.
We could have one on standby in case one of
Have they been contacted and?
the, if it's all right with the board, Carl and I will meet with the 3 and talk with them and get them to sign the agreement.
Well, Mike saw them and gave them a copy of that, and 2 of them signed it already.
Okay.
I'd already talked to Mike and the other,
2 mics.
2 mics?
and
Okay.
Dan.
Yeah, I've already talked to them, gave them a rough idea of what the job duties were. Be reporting basically to Bob. And then installation, again, trying to give them a rough idea on hours. figured it's gonna be 40 hours starting off, loading in the machines, maybe the first couple weeks of October, and then 2025 when the other 30 come in. Then after that, I'm thinking 10 hours a week maybe, because they're gonna have to check for the electric, they're gonna have to check cleaning out the machines. So that was my thought. I don't know at this point, but
Basically, once a month, clean the machines.
yeah. And neither one really want a full-time job, so I think it would make sense to have 2 or maybe even 3 people there to switch off and.
Well, from the time that the guys stop on machines till start up in spring,
Yeah,
hopefully they'll agree to work to get the units in, but then once, Craig starts putting machines back in the, lake next summer, we may have to find some other guys.
yeah, well,
Well, I talked to them about what the expectations are, because they may, I'm not speaking for them, but they may wanna do this instead of, you never know.
yeah. Well, again, it wouldn't be that many hours, 10 hours a week maybe, but like Mike said, he didn't want full-time. I said, I understand. But maybe he works 5 hours a week, the other guy 5, and they still work on the weed cutters. I mean, it's something to work out, so we'll see. Yeah.
But Carl, if we put in, basically, we're almost put in 30 next year, because I don't think we'll be lucky
Yeah,
if we get
probably.
2 in.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be,
initially, but that'll be April. They don't really start hauling until June, we'll say. So April, May is gonna be
so 40 hours a week is not unrealistic until we get all 30
it could be more,
bubblers in.
it could be 80 between
Yeah.
the 2 guys, so yeah. I mean, we've got the funds, we did budget for it much greater than,
Well, that's in the, loan too.
yeah, that, and it was also in there at, I believe that rate was through the whole summer, and we know it's not gonna be that much in the summertime.
Yeah.
So, we're covered there one way or the other, so, okay, we'll keep getting updates on that. I don't think we need any action on that. Discussion and possible action, nanobubbler unit hosting agreement. That was a 2-page you came up with.
I typed up, basically, we wanna keep it simple for landowners, signing an agreement to allow us to put in the bubblers on their property. The first agreement we got from our attorney, it was, I think, 5 or 6 page document where the landowner had to get their signature notarized. I talked with Carl and we talked with Mary Beth. We only need to have it notarized as if we plan on recording the agreement at the county. I don't think there's any need to, record these agreements at the county. It's basically a handshake between the property owner and Tri-Lakes.
Yeah, we wanna make it as easy as possible for
Yeah.
folks, so handshake agreement's good.
So I did it yesterday, made 2 mistakes, or 2 corrections I have to put in the agreement, and it should be good to go then. Just requiring a signature from the property owners, husband and wife, and then somebody from the board has to sign it too. They get a copy of the agreement.
Okay, I don't think we need to action on that then. It's
I'll
just,
when I make the corrections today, I'll send
Okay.
it to Regina, and she can send it out to the board members. Anybody has any questions, get a hold of me.
Number 19, discussion of possible action, approval electrical bid process. We had met with Econ, and in the process of setting up a bidding process, we're gonna be site-specific. Econ does owe us some information, but I think he was waiting for something from Chris still.
I don't know.
I had an email, I forgot, I'll double check it, so, but we'll talk to Chris today. I'll check the email before that. But there was just some information. Basically, what they're gonna do is, they have to bid it out, because it's gonna be one project, it's gonna be over $2,500, so we have to bid. Basically, I don't know if it'll be Econ, but one of the electrical contractors will probably take lead, or something, maybe it's even us. Go to each site, announce to the other electrical contractors, this date and time would be at this site, at this house, and come out, take a look at it, figure it out for your bid, because each one's gonna be different. But that's gonna be the process going forward, just waiting for, Econ thought that was probably the best route to go. Most consistent, and then we'll have a solid number to work with.
We talked about, if a company wants to put a bid in, the date that we select that to go and look at each property, they're gonna have to do it on that date.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, we'll put that, I think we did put that in the homeowners agreement, that we'd have to, well, I don't think we did do that, did we?
No, we didn't.
We probably should put in there that they'll have to have a date.
No, nothing about a date.
Yeah, we'll probably have to, because they'll have to come out and look. They'll have to see if
Yeah.
if the electrical box is easily accessible, if it's open, if there's work to be done inside the house, or however they have to get the power down there to the
You can come
unit.
up with a bunch of questions too that need to
Yeah,
present to the homeowners.
yeah.
That'll
And
help out.
we did find out that we only need, it's a 15 amp service, not 19, so it saves us some time and money. It doesn't have to be 10 gauge, it can go 12 gauge. So that's helpful, because there's a lot of power down there already, right?
Where's that?
At a lot of these shorelines.
No, nothing that's acceptable. There's only one location that has power we could probably use.
Does he, what does he got for, the size wire and amperage?
He's got a 30 amp line going down to his pump.
Okay, we can get by with 20, so,
Right, but I mean, it's already there.
okay. I thought there was a few other, well, we'll see. But we'll cover all those costs also, yeah.
I've got a list that I went through on the internet, just picking out local electrical contractors to see how many there are. I have approximately 12 of them.
Wow, okay.
How many do you want to try to notify?
I think we just put it out there for all of them when it comes time. Yeah, I doubt if all 12 would be interested. I've talked to a couple. Was Moser on there, and there's a couple others. He said
Yeah,
no.
Moser, yeah,
Yeah, he said he it's too much for him.
sorry.
He said it was too much for him. He won't bid on it. He's the one that led us to Econ, and he gives a couple other ones to look at. I think there'll be a couple electricians out there that won't want to mess with it. Beyond, some of it's beyond. He said he doesn't have time. He's booked.
Okay,
But-
so then you want me to coordinate the date with the homeowner so that we have access or a key or something like that to get in?
Oh, we have to pick a date first, Bob, before you notify the homeowners. And
Well,
when
I suppose we
send-
give the homeowners.
the
We
date
give
is
them
gonna
a.
be contingent on whether the homeowner is there or not.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have to give the homeowner, come back to us with dates that they'd be available for the look-see. Yeah,
Because we'll have to put that out with the bid to the
yeah,
contractor.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, good, yeah. I think put it out to all of them, because we get a good bid, so, yeah. All right, I don't think.
Is there anything else on, like, project manager wise that? you can
Yeah,
update
I've got a
us?
couple other things if you wanna talk about them now.
Yeah, go ahead, sure.
Like I told Carl and Mark, I said, I'm willing to do this any way you guys wanna do it. I just think that, over the long run, if you, would at least put suction hose down into the lake, and then if you wanted to extend out into the lake with PVC, that would be fine, but it would be a lot easier, and a lot more less time consumed putting the stuff in and out every spring and fall if we had suction hoses as opposed to solid PVC lines. The difference probably is gonna be about $100 per unit.
Yeah, I took out PVC line, Don and I took it out of the one at Camelot, and that was attached to the dock and all that. We're gonna talk to Chris about that today too, and see, which route to go. If the hose isn't that expensive, we can, I don't have a problem if it's that much.
The hose
It's
is
not that much.
$3.16 a foot.
But it is heavy.
Might be able to find a cheaper one too, I'm not sure, because I thought at the time that we picked that, we had to have some requirements for the suction, but evidently there's not that much.
It's gotta be at least 60 PSI, I believe.
I don't think so, but whatever,
You're-
maybe we
you're-
could find a cheaper hose.
Well, it's gonna have to be non-collapsible one way or the other. I mean, the one we put in, last year at Arrowhead's Marina, that was a 6-inch hose, and that took 4 people, basically. It was like wrestling an alligator, getting that thing in and out.
Well, if you take the end off of it, it should be coming out easily.
Yeah, well, we'll see too. The other thing is, we figure we'll put blocks down there, but we'll talk to Chris and get that all squared away today, I think. Just to mention that to him.
Just my opinion, I think that at least part of the line going down, there needs to be a flexible piece on that, especially, with the different variances on where these things are gonna be placed and stuff.
They're gonna save a lot of time cutting pieces and gluing it up and everything too.
Well, with the flexible too, you might eliminate some of the 45s on the
Yeah.
PVC, so, yeah, there's pros and cons, I guess, both ways, so we'll look at it.
I mean, Chris will probably
The other concern that I had was the base. This thing weighs about 340 pounds or so. I think we need to have it on a stable base because number one, the house that we're using, this Suncast house, is very flimsy. It has to be very close to being level or on a level plane, on a solid plane at least, for these doors to be able to shut properly. So I think there needs to be a base underneath this thing, other than just a couple bags of gravel.
I'll talk to Chris. The other thing too is we're gonna be putting probably 2x6s. If they can take the legs off, then the weight's spread out, it doesn't matter. Otherwise, if they leave the legs on, and it might be a cheaper route, I don't
Well,
know.
I think they're gonna have to be set on something so that the weight is not on those legs, because they'll just sink right through that plastic.
Not if they're on 2x6s. You can put
That's what I'm
2x6s
saying.
on front and
If we could
rear.
have something like that
Yeah.
underneath there, that would prevent that.
Yeah, 2x6, and then you could also level it off with that too, so there's plenty of height on the thing. I think it
What
was
I'm
5
saying
inches.
is the cabinet, in order to shut properly, is gonna have to be more or less
Yeah,
level.
yeah. And that's what we intend to do on the site prep, is, that's with our guys, going out there and digging, do whatever they gotta do, get the gravel, at least put the gravel down, you can get it pretty much level, so. That was the intent, so.
Well, I'd hate to have them sink into the, sand and then later have to come back and re-level these things and take them apart. That would be,
Well, I mean, it's, certain point, we gotta, try it. I mean, we're probably looking at getting 2 in this fall, so we'll probably get an idea, especially sitting over the winter. So we'll get an idea going. If we do, maybe do one way, one the other way, but, I don't know. What do you think?
okay, then my last thought is, when we install these units, I think we can measure with a regular voltometer the voltage that's down at the lake unit and the amount of amperage going through each leg. And we can compute then the total draw on these things in watts. So we could then put in an hour meter and just figure that it's gonna be the same draw all the time, which I'm sure it will be. The hour meter then could just tell us how many hours it ran, and you could easily reimburse the customer using that
We
formula.
do have an electrician here that, Mark, thoughts on that?
Bob is about right, because the size of the motors on the compressor and the pump, will determine the current draw. The distance off the building, there's voltage drop that changes the current draw a little bit, but the hour meter times the voltage times the amperage would give you the kilowatts used per unit. And so it might be, I don't know what the cost of the hour meter is, I don't know.
Probably
what
get
the-
an hour meter for $30 or less.
And I don't know what the cost of a power meter would be.
The cheapest one I found was about $220.
Okay, so
If
they
you-
can be calculated off the hours, but then somebody would have to monitor the hours or the power meter as well. So either way, be about the same amount
It
of time
just-
required.
There's just a math function though. Every month it's gonna be the same for all
It
houses
should-
as far
should
as
be.
time, and so that's just one function. That shouldn't be too difficult.
It might vary depending upon if the filters were to get clogged or whatever, which would change the load on the pumps, whether it's free flowing or restricted flow. But that's
Also-
something we won't know until we experience it.
I don't know, I don't have much power interruption, but a power interruption's gonna have an effect on it too. Start and stop, start and stop.
Well, that's why an hour meter would account for that.
But, it doesn't count, when you start and stop, you got a whole different voltage read in there. That's the startup.
It's only
the surge.
momentary though, it's an inrush current is all
Yeah.
it is.
If
You
I'm
know-
not mistaken, from what we did with our test unit at Camelot,
Yeah.
is once it gets turned on, it's gonna run until it
It's- yeah.
experiences its next maintenance.
Right. But these units will have shut-offs on them, for overheating or anything along that line as well, so. We will have fans on these things also. We also told the electricians to install fans. My only concern is maybe we just keep a couple meters handy in case somebody has a problem saying they don't think it's running right or something like, you're gonna get somebody say, my electric jumped up this much and you're only paying me this much. I just wanna make sure that we're being fair with the folks. So, we can look at, that, sure. $30 isn't bad at all.
The unit we put in at Camelot was running on 230 volt, 240 volt, and I didn't put an ammeter on, so I don't know how much current was drawing, but technically the motors are the same on all of them.
Yes.
The power usage should be the same on all of them.
Yeah, according to Chris, it is, I guess that's what they use other places, but, yeah. Yeah, we don't wanna put new meters in per se, like electric meters from the, for electric company, cause then starts getting real expensive, $30 monthly charge and all that stuff, so, yeah. Okay, yeah, we can look at that. We'll talk to, I gotta get a hold of Greg from Econ and see where he's at. He owes us some information, but I believe he was waiting on Molier to get him some information, so we'll cover all that today, but I'll bring it up with him, yeah.
I guess the last thing is, do you want me to be on this conference call today with Chris and all, or not?
Yeah, you could. I mean, we're gonna go down to the office, sure, yeah.
Okay.
We got a couple questions, a lot of them are installation, so where are they at date-wise, so we can start planning on these.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. Are you gonna be down there? You be out? Stay away from us. Doing other. Okay, anything else? Any other questions? All right. Next agenda item is number 20. Anything else to add on here? Give an update, probably get Jay from EOR in here. We're also gonna have a little chat with him on some of the goings on, so. Might be time to have him come in and do an update. They should have, actually, he could probably give us some information on the readings that have been taken since, July, when those machines go in.
When did we put them in? The monitors, I don't remember.
I thought it was July.
Yeah,
July.
he should be able to get us some data on that, see what's going on.
Those machines are collected, sending, data
Yeah,
up there every 15 minutes, so.
yeah, I think we ought to get that information, get folks information out there, what we've got so far and what we're collecting, so, okay. He will be in, I think, was he in this week?
He's in today, I think.
Okay, and then, they'll be taking them out probably next month anyway, so. Okay, if you got anything else for the agenda, send it on to me. Next meeting date and time,
October 16th,
9 AM.
Wednesday, 9 a.m.
Okay, anybody have any issues there? Can I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, adjourned.
Not a record, but 9 o'clock? Yeah, 9 o'clock, I don't know why I thought it was 8:30. It used to be 8:30?
This one I can't make.
No, I want
From the time we got the grant, but about $8,000.